Okay, we're going to set up rigctl-D to record some debug information on our communications with the rig. So first thing we want to do is confirm our settings on the rig because we're going to reuse these items here. So I'm set up with a Kenwood TS2000 to my Apache system on serial port COM8 at 115 kilobaud. So now that we have these, what we can do is we'll exit WSJT-X because it's got the port which we're going to reuse. So we shut WSJT-X down, go down to the search bar, type in CMD, and we should have a command prompt show up. We open the command prompt. We then want to change directories to the location where WSJT-X is. This is the default path here that it gets installed in unless you change it. Once we're there, we can get a list of all the rigs that are supported by typing rigctl-wsjtx with -L. That gives us a list of all the rigs, and there's a bunch of them. So what we do, vertical bar and say find 2000, which should include my TS2000. Now on the far left you see the model number 214, so that's what we need now. So we do rig control, same command with -M for the model number 214, -R with the COM port, and -S with the baud rate. We should get a prompt back with no errors, and if everything's working correctly, we can type in F and get the frequency. We can type in an M, for example, and get the mode and passband. That means we're talking to the rig correctly. So Q to quit out of there. We can recall that command with a cursor up and just change this to rigctl-D. When we hit enter there, you get that little message there. We can now start WSJT-X again. In WSJT-X, we're going to go change the rig settings. Back to the radio. This will become hamlib net rig control. Hit the test button and we should get a green check mark back, which means we're talking successfully to the rigctl-D over there. Now the next thing we want to do, now that everything's working this way, is we're going to include some debug information so that it can be sent to developers for hamlib. Control-C in that window will stop rigctl-D, and what we can do is do a dash with 5 V's, add a dash capital Z. That'll give us some time codes, and for the moment you can see what this looks like. There's lots of information that comes out. We can go back over here and hit the test cat again. We get all sorts of information that comes back, and this is what the developers need in order to debug problems that you may be having with your rig. So once that's done, now we need to be able to record this data. So what we will do is we do the Control-C again, and we do a greater than arrow, and we'll make this a debug.txt file. We also have to add a 2 greater than &1. This redirects everything to that debug file. So once we do that, we hit the enter again. We should be able to go over here. We'll do our test cat. It'll come back green. We should be able to go back to rigctl-D here again and do a Control-C. It should come back shortly, and there it is. And now we should have a debug.txt file that has all this information in it about what happened while it's talking to your rig. So what you do then is once this is running, you just duplicate the problem that you're having with your rig and send that debug text file to the hamlib developers list. That should get you going.